Good evening, everyone. Afternoon, rather. Before we start with this afternoon's procurement activity, which is the pre-bid conference for 6 projects, let us put ourselves in the holy presence of God. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering all today in this important endeavor. We ask that you bestow your guidance and blessing upon each attendee. May we honor one another by keeping an open mind. May we voice our truth and listen with an open heart. Bless everyone present today, that each may be able to share his or her contributions and gifts. Grant good health and safety to loved ones left outside this room, and bestow peace and goodwill to all of us. We ask for your wisdom and grace to use our talents for the betterment of others. May the various activities related to this day be a success through your intervention. With gratitude, we offer this prayer in your name. Amen.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are gathered here today, this afternoon, for the pre-bid conference for civil works under invitation to bid number 2024-033 for 6 projects. We are live via our YouTube channel, DPWH Davao de Oro, 1st District Engineering Office Procurement LS, in compliance to Department Order number 6, Series of 2024, which directs us to live stream procurement activities for accountability and transparency of procurement process. Before we proceed, may I ask the Vaca Secretariat to please acknowledge all who are present, including observers, if there's any.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Madam.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Acknowledging the presence of those who are present here in today's pre-bid conference, we have here our back chairperson, Madam Eva M. Del Piero.
Present.
Our back vice chairperson, Engineer Rico Arubin.
Present.
Our back members, Engineer Carlo Antonio T. Guzman,
Present.
Engineer Renz Joseph L. Casila, and Engineer John Jeffrey D. Marcos.
Present.
From Back Secretariat, Engineer Maria Shelby S. Hupia, present. From TWG, represented by Engineer Julieta Sitio.
Present.
And from Planning and Design Section representatives, Engineer John Troy M. Balili, Engineer Etienne Rick M. Nabha, and Engineer Jasaniel M. Alaria.
Present.
Also, Madam Chair, we have sent invitations to the following observers: the Commission on Audit, Crime and Corruption Watch International, Tabunturan Integrated Cooperative, Davao del Norte and Compostela Contractors Association Incorporated. Unfortunately, they aren't able to attend today's activity, while the Commission on Audit representatives will be watching this by live stream on our YouTube channel. That's all, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ara. Since the majority of the back members are present here this afternoon, so we are in quorum, and I hereby declare this pre-bid conference for civil works in order. We have preset agenda for this pre-bid conference for civil works. First is the brief presentation of the contract to be procured, which includes basic contract data, requirements of bidding documents, documents to be submitted by the bidder, technical and financial components of the bid, criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, status of ongoing projects and awards. And 2, other matters, the 3-strike policy. 3, questions, comments from bidders, and replies of the BAC and other representative of the procuring entity. The 4, summary proceedings, including supplemental bid bulletins to be issued. Any motion for other matters to be included in the agenda? There is none. May I know the pleasure of the body?
I move for the adoption of the present agenda.
I second the motion.
It has been moved by Engineer Guzman and seconded by Engineer Ruben, and with no objection, the motion to adopt this agenda is hereby approved. First in the agenda of business is the explanation of the basic contract data. This will be presented to us by the Planning and Design Section Engineers.
Good afternoon, everyone.
There you know.
The first project, name of contract, construction of multipurpose building, Purok 13 Tapis, Barangay Tambongon, Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Contract ID number 24LA0140. Location, Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, construction of 30 meters by 16 meter curve type gym and 111 meter by 8.5 meter stage, including electrical works, concrete works, roofing works, and painting works on masonry and steel, and 2 sets of movable basketball goal. Approved budget for the contract, 6,930,000 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2024, GAA and program and appropriation. Contract duration, 203 calendar days. Size range, small b. License category C and D. Cost of bid documents, 10,000 pesos. This is the location map of the project. The vicinity map, the site development plan, and the perspective. The ground floor plan, the roof plan, the elevation, the typical side view, the typical front view, and the geotag photos.
Good afternoon. For the next project, name of contract, construction of multipurpose building, Purok 6, Mangga, Barangay Tagdangua, Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Contract ID number 24LA0141. Location, Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, construction of 16 by 30 meter curved gym with 11 by 8.5 meter stage. Removal of structures and obstruction, construction of 20 meter concrete fence, construction of steel gate, 0.6 meter embankment, electrical works, finishing works and other civil works, and 2 sets of movable basketball goal. Approved budget for the contract, 7,920,000. Source of fund, FY 2024 GAA and program appropriation. Contract duration, 212 calendar days. Size range, small b. License category, C and D. Cost of bid documents, 10,000 pesos. The location map of the project. The vicinity map of the project. Site development plan. The perspective. The ground floor plan, roof plan, typical side view elevation, typical front elevation, the geotag photos.
Next project, we have road concreting from Cadunan National Highway to New Mabini Sanitary Landfill Site, Mabini, Davao de Oro Phase 2. Contract ID number 24LA0142. Location, Mabini, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, concreting with the width of 6.10 meters and a thickness of 230 millimeters. Section 1, starting from station 635 to station 980 with a total length of 345 meters. Section 2, starting from station 869 to station 999.2 with a total length of 130.2 meters. Section 3, just starting from station 17 to station 259 with a total length of 242 meters. And station 4, starting from station 259 to station 350 with a total length of 91 meters for graveling. Roadway excavation, surplus common excavation, surplus rock excavation, soft, construction of minor drainage structures, construction of gluted riprap for stool protection, application of reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings. Approved budget for the contract is 14,475,000 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2024 GAA and program appropriation. Contract duration is 125 calendar days. Size range, small b. License category, C and D. Cost of bid documents is 25,000 pesos. This is the location map for the said project. The typical details. And the geotag photos. Next project, we have road concreting Sitio Vaca to new Slaughterhouse to Pangibiran, Mabini, Davao de Oro Phase 2. Contract ID number 24LA0143. Location, Mabini, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, concreting with a width of 6.10 meters and a thickness of 230 millimeters. Section 1, starting from station 0 to station 181.6 with a total length of 181.6 meters. Section 2, starting from station 844.8 to station 1 plus 515 with a total length of 670.2 meters. Roadway excavation, surplus common excavation, intermittent concrete pave shoulder, construction of concrete canal lining, construction of minor drainage structures, application of reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings. Approved budget for the contract is 14,475,000 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2024 GAA and program appropriation. Contract duration is 105 calendar days. Size range, small b. License category, C and D. Cost of bid documents is 25,000 pesos. This is the location map of the said project. The typical details. And the geotag photos. Fifth project, we have construction of drainage structure along Surigao-Davao Coastal Road, Barangay Kingking, section Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Contract ID number 24LA0144. Location, Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, construction of drainage with concrete catch basin. Kilometer 1787 plus 164 to kilometer 1788 plus 530 with a total length of 1,366 meter as per plan. kilometer 1787 plus 164 to kilometer 1788 plus 420 with a total length of 1,366 meters as per RBIA. Removal of structures and obstructions, intermittent concrete paved shoulders, construction of sidewalk with curb and gutter. Approved budget for the contract is 48,250,000 pesos. Source of fund FY 2024 GAA and program appropriation. Contract duration is 513 calendar days. Size range medium A. License category B. Cost of bid documents is 25,000 pesos. The location map of the said project. The typical details. And the geotag photos.
For the next project, name of contract, construction of MHO building phase 2, Kingking, Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Contract ID number 24LA0145. Location, Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, completion of Pantukan Municipal Health with the following provisions. A. Completion of concrete walls and partition including concrete column and beams. B. Installation of doors and windows. C. Ceiling works including roof eaves. D. Installation of plumbing fixtures. E. Completion of electrical works. F. Rough-in installation of fire sprinkler system. G. Painting works, wall and ceiling. H. Installation of fire detection and alarm system. Right, thus. I. Tile works. Approved budget for the contract 19,800,000. Source of fund FY 2024 GAA and program appropriation. Contract duration 180 calendar days. Size range small b. License category C and D. Cost of bid documents 25,000. The location map. The vicinity map. Site development plan. Perspective. Ground floor plan. Second floor plan. Elevation. The geotag photos.
Thank you, Engineers Balili, Labha, and Aleria, for your brief explanation for the infrastructure projects to be bid. Next, in the order of business, is the requirements of the bidding documents. Documents to be submitted by the bidders, criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, status of ongoing projects and awards, and the three-strike policy, which will be presented through audiovisual presentation.
Requirements of bidding documents. All documents required including the instructions to bidders, the general conditions of contract, special condition of contract, specifications, drawings, bill of quantities and forms, such as bid securities, are all uploaded to PhilJep's website and our website at the DPWH. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders from the procurement unit at the DPWH Davao de Oro 1st DEO Nabantaran Davao de Oro and upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents. It may also be downloaded free of charge from the website of the Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System, PhilJeps. and the website of the procuring entity, provided that bidders shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than the submission of their bids. Documents to be submitted by the bidder. The following documents should be included by the interested bidders in their bids. For the technical component of the bid, A. Eligibility documents such as PhilJEP certificate. B. PCAB license and registration. C. Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, SLCC only. NFCC computation and statement of total assets and total liabilities. D. Joint venture agreement, if applicable. E. Technical documents such as bid security, project requirements such as the organizational chart for the contract, list of contractors' personnel, list of major equipment, and omnibus statement, which is 10 items. For financial component of the bid, A. Bid form. B. Bid prices and the bill of quantities. C. Detailed estimates including a summary sheet indicating unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals. D. Cash flow by quarter. These documents should be submitted using to envelope system. Bidders are urged to only fasten the documents at the topmost portion instead of binding them. Each document should be ear-tagged appropriately. There shall be 3 copies of documents: the original copy, Copy 1, and Copy 2. The original copies of technical component of the bid shall be sealed in one envelope, and the original copies of financial component of the bid shall be sealed in another envelope. These envelopes should be labeled as original copy of technical component and original copy of financial component respectively. These labeled envelopes shall be sealed into one envelope and label it as the original copy of the bid. The same procedure applies to Copy 1 and Copy 2. Lastly, the original copy, Copy 1 and Copy 2 of the bid shall be sealed into one final envelope to be submitted here in conference room, 2nd floor of DPWH, 1st District Engineering Office, Davao de Oro. Bids can also be submitted electronically through electronicbeads_Compostelavalley@dpwh.gov.ph.
Please be reminded, key personnel. There should be no overlapping or no dual functions, especially in project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, and foreman. Tax identification number, TIN, should be indicated in your bid documents. It will be needed during the award of contract. Financial documents should be written legibly. Discrepancies of bid prices between figures and in words will prevail. For discount offers, methodology shall be indicated. Otherwise, the original bid amount will prevail. Bids not addressing or providing all the required items in the bidding documents, especially in the bill of quantities, the bid will be considered as non-responsive. Always check your documents before submitting to avoid disqualification. All bidders should update their PhilJEP's contractor's profile application as mandated and in accordance to Section 8.5.2 of 2016 IRR of RA 9184 and the GPPB Resolution No. 15/2021. In addition to our bidding documents, bidders are required to include in their technical documents the affidavit of site inspection with proof of evidence of actual visit of the area. This is to avoid problems during the implementation of the project, as per BAC Resolution No. 071 Series of 2023.
Criteria and procedure for eligibility check. Criteria and procedure for eligibility check that are set forth in Section 23 of the Revised Implementing Rules and Regulations of RA 9184. All prospective bidders should have updated their Class A documents. These documents were already discussed by the Secretariat. During the opening of bids, the BAC will check the eligibility result of contractor's profile application from Procurement Service of Central Office, and simultaneously conduct the eligibility check and preliminary examination of the technical components of the bids. Bidders who are found eligible and the same time passed the preliminary examination of their technical proposal and financial proposal, the committee will read the bid amount stated in the bid form.
Three-strike policy. Introduction and policy objective. In order to establish a fair and transparent system for managing offenses committed by bidders in the procurement of infrastructure, goods, and consulting services projects through public bidding, the Department of Public Works and Highways, DPWH, hereby introduces an updated three-strike policy. This policy is aimed at enforcing adherence to the procurement guidelines stipulated under Section 69.1.I of the 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulations, IR, of Republic Act, RAE 9184. Under this policy, if a bidder commits three offenses or acts described as all other acts that tend to defeat the purpose of competitive bidding, they shall be subjected to an administrative penalty. These offenses, acts are further classified into three major categories, as enumerated below.
Classification of offenses that triggers the three-strike policy and exceptions. 1. Withdrawal from the bidding process, submission of a non-participation letter, or failure to submit a bid after purchasing the bid documents. However, the Bids and Awards Committee, BAC, recognizes certain valid reasons for these actions. A. If upon computation prior to bid submission, the bidder determines that their proposed bid price will exceed the approved budget for the contract, ABC. To substantiate this, the bidder must provide evidence.
Acceptable proof includes, but is not limited to, a detailed budget estimation or a market price report. B. If the bidder, after reviewing the bidding documents and evaluating the available market options, determines that the required goods or supplies either are not available, or that the available alternatives do not meet the specified technical specifications. Additionally, if providing the specified goods or supplies would require the bidder to incur costs exceeding the competitive and financially viable range.
Or if adherence to the specifications would lead to a bid price that is not economically favorable, the bidder may withdraw.
To validate this reason, the bidder should present an affidavit demonstrating that participating in the bid under these conditions would be financially unsustainable. 2. Submission of late bids without valid reasons as determined by the BAC. Exceptions will be considered under extraordinary circumstances such as force majeure.
This refers to unexpected and unavoidable external events that impede or prevent a bidder from timely bid submission, as defined in Article 1174 of the Philippine Civil Code. 3. Submission of patently insufficient bid. A patently insufficient bid refers to a bid that fails to include or comply with certain mandatory requirements. The determination of whether a bidder committed such an offense may occur as outlined below. A. During eligibility screening and/or shortlisting. I. Submission of an expired certificate of Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System, PhilGPS, registration, Platinum membership.
Or a certificate of PhilGPS certification containing expired Class A legal and financial documents as determined during the eligibility screening.
Failure to include certificate of employment, contract agreement among permanent personnel and staff of the firm, and curriculum vitae in the application for eligibility and shortlisting, AES,
which are evaluated during the shortlisting for consulting services projects.
B. During bid evaluation, failure to submit required bid forms, as outlined in Annex C detailing the complete list of required bid forms.
2. Submission of incomplete, insufficient, or defective documents due to the non-inclusion and/or omission of mandatory provisions and statements for the required bid forms, as per Annex C outlining the mandatory provisions of required forms. 3. Submission of an unnotarized bid securing declaration, an omnibus sworn statement and joint venture agreement or statements from all the potential joint venture partners, with the exception during the declaration of state of calamity.
Or implementation of community quarantine or similar restrictions declared or being implemented either in the locality of the procuring entity, PE, or of the bidder.
4. Submission of the bid form, price schedules, bid securing declaration, omnibus sworn statement, and joint venture agreement, JVA, without the name, legal capacity, and signature of the bidder or its authorized representative. 5. Nomination of key personnel of a profession different from what is required by the bidding documents or, in the case of consulting services, proposing a key personnel whose educational background is different from that required by the TOR. 6. Failure to submit proof of ownership, lease, or purchase agreement of pledged equipment.
7. Failure to submit the required certification of key personnel as per Department Order No. 9, Series of 2012, or, in the case of consulting services projects, failure to submit certifications as required by the Terms of Reference, TOR.
8. Failure to comply with the required minimum number of key personnel and equipment as stated in the bidding documents.
C. During post-qualification, 1. Participation in bidding for consulting services or good and services contracts by a bidder whose business type category, as indicated on the mayor's permit, does not match or unrelated to the contract being bid for, as determined during the post-qualification process. 2. Participation for infrastructure projects by a bidder whose allowable range of contract costs, RCC, as indicated on the PCAB license, does not match with the specific requirements of the infrastructure project being bid for, in terms of category, classifications, and size ranges. Enforcement and penalties. If a bidder commits any of the 3 major offenses, or acts listed above 3 times within a year starting from the approval date of the resolution recommending the imposition of strike 1, first warning, which is counted as day 1, through day 365, and if these 3 offenses are similar or identical nature, it will trigger the enforcement of the stipulated administrative penalty, suspension from participating in all DPWH procurement activities, and entering into contract with any DPWH procuring entity. Subsequently, as per the procedure outlined in Annex A, this may result in the blacklisting of the suspended bidder, thereby disqualifying the bidder from participating in any government procurement activities for a period of 1 year. In conjunction with blacklisting, the bidder will also face bid security forfeiture, and must comply with the enforcement of the bid securing declarations condition. In more severe instances, when a bidder commits another set of 3 similar offenses, or more than 2 sets of 3 similar offenses instances, where more than 6 similar offenses occur within the said 1-year time frame, the bidder may be subjected to an increased penalty, resulting in blacklisting for a period of 2 years. The effective for the penalty of either 1 or 2 years, as applicable, will be clearly stipulated in the blacklisting order, with the provision that the duration of blacklisting shall not exceed a maximum period of 2 years, commencing on the date the blacklisting order is approved and issued by the Secretary. In enforcing these penalties, the DPWH emphasizes the need for a clear and fair procedure. When an offense leading to a strike is identified, the erring bidder will be promptly notified by the Bids and Awards Committee, BAC, and given a chance to explain their actions before any final decision is made. This procedure helps ensure a well-informed and fair judgment. Furthermore, if a bidder is suspended due to 3 strikes, they have the right to file a request for reconsideration as per the procedure in Annex A. This gives the suspended bidder a formal way to challenge the suspension, showcasing the department's commitment to due process in enforcing the 3-strike policy. 4. Due process and implementation. To ensure that due process is upheld across all stages of procurement, from eligibility screening and shortlisting to bid evaluation and post-qualification, it is essential for the BAC and its Technical Working Group, TWG, to meticulously verify the monthly consolidated strike report or its updated version at each stage of the procurement process. All BACs are tasked with actively monitoring these updates to accurately track the infractions committed by bidders. Notably, even if a bidder has accumulated 3 strikes, this alone shall not be grounds for ineligibility, disqualification, or post-qualification until the suspension order is approved by the Secretary and officially posted on DPWH website. Moreover, if a suspended bidder has filed a request for reconsideration, the awarding of the contract may be deferred until such request is resolved. This approach ensures the integrity and coherence of our procurement system, reflecting our dedication to a transparent and fair process for all participants. Failure of the concerned DPWH personnel to implement the provisions of this order shall, after due process, make them liable to the penalties prescribed for violation of reasonable office rules and regulation in Rule 10. Administrative Offenses and Penalties of the 2017 Rules on Administrative in the Civil Service dated the 3rd of July 2017. This order shall take effect immediately and shall supersede Department Order Number 17, Series of 2015, Department Order Number 35, Series of 2008 and all other issuances that are inconsistent with this order.
Additional information. Only accredited contractors and consultants project engineer shall assign to handle the project in compliance to Department Order 148, Series of 2024. Guidelines on the accreditation and assignment of contractors and consultants project engineers.
We are now done with the agenda number 1 and its subsections, including agenda number 2, other matters, for the discussion of the three-strike policy. Do we have any other matters to be discussed? If none, we will now proceed with the agenda number 3, which is the questions, comments from interested bidders and replies of the bank. Since there are no questions, comments, we will now proceed to the last agenda, which is the summary of proceeding, including supplemental bid bulletins to be issued, which will be discussed by Engineer Maria Selvi Esopia, Head of the Procurement Unit.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. All the needed information were discussed and will explained by the Back Secretariat and the Planning and Design Section engineers. I would like to remind the interested bidders to visit from time to time the Field Jobs and DPWH websites, especially 7 days before the opening of the bids for possible issuance of supplemental bid bulletins. Reminder to all the interested bidders that the deadline of the submission of the bids will be on or before January 21, 2025 at 10 a.m. The opening of the bids will be conducted in the second floor conference room, DPWH Davao de Oro 1st District Engineering Office, Davao de Oro. And also, bids shall be addressed to the back chairperson, Engineer Eva M. Del Fierro, DPWH Davao de Oro 1st District Engineering Office, Davao de Oro. That's all, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Engineer Sopia. And all of the business in the agenda were already taken into consideration. May I know the pleasure of the body?
I move for the adjournment of this meeting. Second.
It has been moved by Engineer Guzman and seconded by Engineer Casilla. And with no objection, this pre-bid conference for civil works is now adjourned. Once again, thank you and good afternoon. Pag-attendance do